Okay, I have my blank screen here, and for the very first module, or very first element I'm going to create, I'm going to do a header. So let me move my little timer out of the way. This is going to be what I call the breadcrumb header. It's when you open a new, when you create a new lesson, this is usually at the tippy top. And so here we go. Move all my things out of the way. And so what I'm going to be creating is I'm going to go ahead and load this in so we can see the example. And this is what this is what I want it to look like. So on the cheat sheet, you will be able to see all of these settings that we are going to run through for each of the elements. So once you do one or two of these with the videos, if you want me to walk you through them all, I'm going to do that. But if you feel like you got this and you don't need me to walk you through each of the steps, then you can feel free and just go through each of the things. I'll try to throw out helpful tidbits in each of the videos, but if you are tired of hearing me talk, then have at it. So the first thing I'm going to do is look at my list over here. Okay, and for this, I'm going to start with the padding. And for this top module, there is no padding on the top or on the bottom because we want it to be kind of skinny at the top. For the spacing, also the same, no spacing top or bottom. And then you're going to, for font, use your body font. So the body font that I'll be using throughout this entire process is Montserrat. I like it because it's easy to read. The spacing is great. It's kind of like spread out a bit. It's easy on the eyes and it looks great capitalized and lowercase, but you can choose whatever. This would be coming from your brand board. So if you don't have your brand board done yet, stop what you're doing right now, go back, do your brand board. You should have a heading font, you should have a body font, you should have all of the things on the brand board list. So go back and do that and then come back. So you're going to do your body font here. Your text color, I have this as my text color. It is a light kind of, a dark gray. You can do black. I prefer a dark gray. This is hashtag 6E, 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 just because it's not going to be the focal point. The font size, I'm actually going to keep. I don't generally like small font sizes, but this is really just a reminder at the top. It's not going, I don't want it to draw anybody's eye, so I'm going to leave that at 12, and the line height is fine at 1.4, and letter spacing I have at 0.1. So all of this is fine, and then text casing is going to be uppercase. So that's what I'm going to go through here. Adjust padding is going to be 0. I'm going to adjust spacing to 0. I am going to make sure that it is my font. I'm going to put in my color as 6E, 6E. Whoops. This is one of the things I don't love here. Hashtag 6E, 6E. It does this weird, like, you've got to do it in here. 6E, 6E, 6E. There we go. Okay. Font size, I'm going to bump down to 12. Line height is 1.4. And line spacing, 0.1. Okay. Text casing is capitalized. Oh, I'm sorry, uppercase. And then what I want to do here is remind myself, my future self, as I would be creating, what structure I want this to be. So this is the structure that I particularly like, but you can choose whatever you want here. So if you want, I do recommend definitely having a module number and then a lesson number or title. You will be able to see it over here on the left if you have this kind of a layout. If you don't have this kind of a layout, you may not see it as readily. So it is always a good idea to have. Also give yourself a little code here. I like square brackets to say, replace this information. So, and then say what the information would be. So this would be like the module number and then a dash, and, or you could do, there you go. And then lesson, and you want these in brackets, lesson, say, number, and then maybe a colon, and then lesson title, something like that, so that you know this is the same thing that I need to put in here every single time. So the learner is expecting this to be the same in each of the lessons. It's going to kind of subconsciously be their map of where to go and where the information is in future modules. So we want to make sure it's the same in every place. And then I'm going to down here, I'm going to click save, and I'm going to once over and just make sure that that is exactly what I want it to be. So the padding, everything is 0, spacing, everything is 0, Montserrat, my text color is right, my font size is right, my line spacing and text casing is uppercase. So at the end of all of that, I'm going to save as custom element. Now here's where naming convention is super important, because there's no way to delete current custom elements in Thrivecart, which I don't love, and there's no way B to organize them. It just saves with the most recent on top. So you want a naming convention, especially if you have more than one brand that you're working for, or more than one like project that might have different branding guidelines, or if you're doing a revision. So let's say this first go around, I might just want to put 1 in front of everything. And so I know this is my first take on everything. Then if I realize, oh, I forgot to do the spacing on that, or I forgot to make that uppercase, whatever it is, when I go to add that element later and actually use it, sometimes I'll forget those little pieces. Then you can go in and I will add a 1.1. Or if I know that it's a 1.1, if I have a 1.1 already, I will update this to a 1.2. And you want to make sure you have consistent names for everything. You can use the names that I've provided, or you can provide your own. So for this one, I would do I would do mine is spicy solo. Like I said, SS1 is that's the revision that I'm on. I was practicing a lot with SS and previous things. So I would say SS1, and then I do a dash, and then I would say header breadcrumbs. So I like capitalization. I like things to look neat. Yes. Okay. So I would do header breadcrumbs, and then I would save that as a custom element. I'm not going to do that because I do, if I go here to load custom element, already have my breadcrumbs. Here they are. SS1 breadcrumbs is what I have. And that's where I got this guy right here. So that is it for the breadcrumbs, and then I'm going to delete that, and we will move on from there.